Welcome to Todd Dogs, the podcast for furries and car lovers alike. In this episode, we'll be discussing furries and their cars going together. So buckle up and get ready for an exciting episode. I'm Stream ArcaDad.
I'm Devan.
And I'm Whiplash. Now, play the exhaust clips.
So welcome to the show, everyone. So as you notice, FictionBoi is not here today. He's currently with his mother, who's having a heart procedure done. So hopefully everything goes all right. But he's going to be there next week. So guys, let me start off with this first question. How does the furry community interact with cars? Whiplash, you want to start off?
How do they interact with cars? Now we're talking about how they try to bring furries and cars together as one to like express themselves through their cars, or how like the car community and the furry community just kind of collide with each other.
It could be an answer to both, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, how the furries interact with cars. I think they use it a lot to, they use it to go to cons, to move around to see friends, but they also like to express, like, put bits of their characters into the car as well with a bunch of customization option.
Yeah, of course. A lot of people have a lot of bad dragon stickers. But some people I know have done full vinyls of their characters on their cars. I've seen people do whole wraps and get their art done with their characters. Some people, like me, are trying to get my car and my characters commissioned together because as much as I love my car, needs some work done.
But yes, it is true. Car furries like to express themselves through their cars, especially me. My TRD camera I used to have, it was like the perfect like resemblance colors wise for me. It was white and black exterior. Actually, the white paint was kind of like a gray depending what sunlight it was in. Interior was black and red, so that car was like me. And I actually had like my own stickers, the Whiplash, like the wolf, on the side windows and the very back window. And you know, you can always go for that furry trash sticker too.
Yeah, true.
That's very true. I'm thinking of starting a petition to, like, when I start iRacing again, I want to get a custom decal of whatever furry stuff you can put on the car. I'll obviously have my own twist on it, but there's full furry sponsors everywhere.
I was gonna say, they're already on Amazon, Etsy, they're already on there. Trust me.
Yeah, well, you can always go to website like Vistaprint or like sticker apps, and you can get like full-size stickers made that you can put vinyls and stuff you can put on your car. I mean, the options are there now. That's the beauty of the internet, is that you can get anything custom made if you want to, and it's not too expensive nowadays.
It's not. That's why I want to do with my stickers I have for my Telegram. I just want to like print all of them out and just like start throwing them in my car. Just like there's a sticker everywhere in the back window. Maybe the safe
work. Good job taking that out though. If you sell the car.
See, I would do that, but I don't need family members like getting in my car and being like, "Hey, what's this sticker mean?" I don't need that.
Why does this pink ship thing has like another set of balls on it?
Why don't you have fuzzy dice? You have fuzzy balls.
Why is the startup screen on your infotainment screen? Why is the startup screen on your infotainment say uwu?
Oh no!
Why does the startup screen on your infotainment immediately lead to E621? And why is there a favorites tab underneath?
It takes you directly to the board page.
Oh, no.
Takes you to the cars version.
All right, so Whiplash, what kind of cars do furries prefer to drive, in your opinion?
Are we talking about like car enthusiast furries, or we're just talking about normal furries? Because normal furries like the Kia Soul for some fucking reason. I have no idea why. Look, I know they had hamsters in the cars, but doesn't mean
at least one hamster Sona that unironically drives a Kia Soul.
Doesn't mean we need to drive them. All right, there's better cars out there than the Kia Soul. Trust,
more reliable.
Believe me.
Yes, maybe more,
especially
more reliable.
Get a Prius.
No, get a Corolla. Get a Corolla.
Yeah,
they're tanks.
Corolla.
Or a Matrix. A Toyota Matrix is a great car to go to convention because it has a bunch of room in it.
I had a Corolla hatchback, a 2019 Corolla hatchback, and the mileage, the gas mileage, I missed that. Because now I can't even make it over 20 with both my cars I have. It was getting consistently at 45. Oh yeah, Corvette is not meant for gas mileage, but the Corolla was getting like a consistent 45 mpg. That's what you need in your life. You need something reliable and something that's fuel efficient. Corolla, nothing else. Do not go for anything that's... If you go for anything Hyundai or Kia related, nothing that has an engine or transmission in it. You go for the electric cars. Nothing else.
Yeah. I gotta say the Hyundai electric cars, they're really good. I mean, the whole thing is simpler mechanically speaking because for some reason Kia and Hyundai, they struggle to make something mechanically reliable, but their electric cars are great and they have a lot of style. I mean, I gotta give them credit. But another good vehicle to get. They do
perform and handle pretty good, but you know, a lot of people are gonna assume, oh, well, Tesla because it's cheap. No. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying for what I'm not paying for a very swift death. Thank you.
I mean, my thing with Tesla is the quality control. Like, here's people who are gonna say there are people who will buy one and not care about the quality control. Good, go at it. I don't care.
Probably me.
I just, every Tesla, like you have the Model 3, you have the Model S, you have the Model Y, Model X. Here's my thing with those cars. Interior wise, they almost all look the same. Exterior wise, they look like Play-Dohs that have been like shapen to look like a different car pretty much. It has the same
They kind of look the same as well.
Somewhat. It's almost the same taillights, almost the same headlights, but just like a different shape. Like... I can't.
Elon asked this kid, hey little kid, I don't know what his kid's name is, and I dare not pronounce it in fear of summoning something in my room, but I bet he just laid out a sheet of paper and said, draw something. Drew a car. And that was his business plan.
Well, they do get really good efficiency on the road, on the wind tunnel. They do have a design that is kind of chic but subtle, and it doesn't change a lot. They did have released some modifications and changes throughout the year, different like headlight patterns and the bumper. They changed the cover of it. Mostly on the S model, I've seen the most because my uncle, he actually had the first Model S's, and I see now the more recent Model S's. They don't look the same. They're kind of different.
You'll still catch me buying a Polestar over a Tesla.
They look good.
No, Polestars are. I've been in the Polestar
too, there, but that's because they're Volvo.
Oh yeah, I was in the Polestar too. My friend rented one when I went to Megaplex last year. They're so much better looking than most of the electric cars that are existing on the road at the moment. I would actually put the Ioniq 6 and 5 on like top tier, like good looking electric cars, and that would probably be like 4th or 5th one down. Like it just looks so good. When it comes to electric cars,
I want the Hyundai N74 that is about to release. It looks like a futuristic DeLorean. It's so cool.
Isn't it gonna release? So I thought that was like a hydrogen fuel car, wasn't it?
No, I thought it was electric.
It's hydrogen fuel.
You have to look it up.
But no, I know what you mean. Like that was like, my god. I love the designers, whoever they hired. Here's the thing is, I would not buy a Hyundai or Kia, but whoever designer they hired to design their cars, they chose the best person in existence because like, I don't like their, like, I wouldn't own one, but every car they have designed recently, like even the SUVs, is just like, I don't know how they made every car look good. It's like ridiculous.
I really like the pixel headlight design they used on the electric cars. They look really cool.
That's why I want the Ioniq 6. The Ioniq 6 to me kind of looks like it has like the same pixel headlights on the front end, but on the back end, if you looked at the back end of the Ioniq 6, it has the whale tail design of the Porsche 911s from the 70s, 80s, and I think early 90s. Like, it looks really good to me. I want one. I'm not gonna lie. I will buy one. Because the good thing about those is those batteries are made by either LG or Samsung. Which Samsung might be more... It'd probably be more Samsung, since Samsung is also Korean.
Yeah.
I would say that.
What about you? What do you think? What do you think furries like to drive for car? What do you think it's the most popular car on furries? Do you agree with that?
It's a really tough choice because like the car community side of the furry fandom, you'll find just about anything and everything in between. You'll find something that was just salvaged from like a scrapyard and then put on Hot Wheels, and they put some K20 or K24 in it, and it's like, okay, you do you. And then some guys roll in with the exotics. It's like, okay, whatever. But most people outside of the car community, I would have to say the Kia Soul or probably some cheaper model. Like, I don't know what it is, but I find a lot of them in Honda Accords, at least in my area.
It's really the Civics I see a lot, which is another like second option for like having a reliable car. The Honda Civic is really good. Hey, I own one. It's like, so I work in a metric system. All right, I'm in Canada. So usually our cars, they last up to around 300,000 kilometers, which I think is about 150,000 miles.
80.
And my car is right at that mark, and it still works perfectly fine. Of course, I live in Canada, so we have a lot of road salt. So our car the body falls apart before the engine and the transmission. So, my Honda Civic has been really reliable. It's 2007, and it still looks like an actual up-to-date car because that double dash design is really cool. I really like that vehicle. Very reliable, fun to drive. Those seats are kind of like half bucket seats, and it's fuel good fuel economy on it.
So your Civic is reliable because
reliability.
Your Civic is reliable because it's an R18 motor. It's just a single overcam 1.8 liter engine that's not very stressed or anything like that. They're 1.5 turbos, which now they attach them to CVTs. Honda really doesn't really make a good CVT. It's fine. People who have CVTs need to realize that you need to do an oil change on those every 40,000 miles because they can't outlast a normal torque converter. And that's just something you have to do. Like, it's a normal thing with CVTs. If you try to go beyond the maintenance with CVTs, you're going to destroy them. CVT transmissions are just, but still, the new Civics are kind of like...
They are sad.
The Earthstream's 1.5 turbos don't really... They have their issues. They still have their issues since they came out with them. Your Civic is fine, though. Your Civic, that year with the SI, that year with the R18 engines, perfect. That was still reliable Honda. The new Hondas,
when I'm cruising on the highway, it's at 3,000 RPM. It's really high. I was surprised how high it is. My sister, she drives the Jetta TSIs, and my God, she does twice as much kilometers on it as I do with the same amount of fuel. And her RPM is 1.5 on the highway for the same speed. I'm like, what?
Is it new?
Yeah, it's recent. Those new engines, they're smaller. And they have a turbo on it. They're great, honestly.
I mean, it's the same way in the
Volkswagen, so I'm just waiting for the day that it collapses on itself.
The problem with Volkswagen is every time I sit in these cars, it feels like I'm too big for the vehicle, and I'm 5'11", and I feel like the cluster is always too high. I do a lot of knee steering when I drive, and I can't do that. Volkswagen is the only car I can't do this, because when I bring the steering low enough, it actually covers the cluster, and I can't see. But all the other cars, all other brands, models, and everything, it's fine. Every time I hit a Volkswagen, I don't know what it is, the freaking cluster is always super high above the pivoting axle of the steering wheel, and it blocks my view, so I can't really do it. So I don't know what geometry they use for the seating, but it's weird.
I was gonna say, if I still have my S2000, I'd have to let you sit in it because you actually can't do it. You can't do any telescoping on the steering wheel. It's stuck in place. You move your seat.
You move the seat.
You adjust yourself, or you don't see.
Exactly, but yeah.
All right, let's go into
we have to make it into a multi-part. We gotta make this a multi-part episode.
Yeah, we could go on for a little while. All right, next question.
Yeah.
How do you think furries use their cars to express their identity?
Oh, there we go. I'll say what I said momentarily ago. They usually try to get cars that match their persona's colors, like I did with my TRD Camry. That was like the perfect example of my colors. But now I have a red G35 and a silver Corvette. Both have black interiors, so they kind of match me somewhat. The white, I don't know what the white is, but they both match me in some way. I should get a white S2000 to fill up the gap. I might do that. But with me, it would be that more likely. Like, they try to match their persona colors with the cars, or maybe perhaps they'll throw some stickers at it to show that people, hey, I am a furry, guess what? You're behind a furry, ooh woo. Like, using some stickers that say like furry trash, like I had Bad Dragon stickers, of course, most furries have those. Or use their actual personas and get stickers of those made, toss them on the back window, back corner window, doesn't matter. I did that myself. I need to do that again with both my cars. But at the moment, both my cars have a sticker. It's a local group to me called Feral Speed, and I have that on both my cars. And the license plate frame that says a Woonigan, so that's just my stuff momentarily.
I'm going to drop by
license plate.
At FWA, I'm probably gonna drop by your car, maybe drop like a few stickers of my store right below the Bad Dragon one.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
I'll do that. So they put like the #1 dad sticker on it, just like slap it in there.
Hey, everyone considers me a dad. I'll do it. I'll put it in the middle of my deck. I'll put it in the middle of my back window. People can see
Hell
it.
yeah.
Right in the middle. Yeah. I'm wondering if I'm gonna start selling more stickers on my store, like as the convention is getting closer and closer. It's like, oh, I want stickers. Probably gonna sell some
Exactly.
over there too. Anyways, yeah. What about you, Devan? But how do you think furries customize their car?
That is basically the long and the short of it, how Whiplash put it. A lot of furries either do like stickers, they can do wraps of their own characters on their cars. People get artwork done with it. They start hanging merch off of it. I know, like, I don't have any stickers per se on my car, not yet, and I have yet to find one to put on there. But I do have some things that just represent like myself and how I tend to act. Like, I used to work at a stuffed animal store, and on one of the last few days that I was working there, we had these little candy hearts for Valentine's, since it was right around the corner. And there was one. Yeah. It was completely black with a smiley face on it, and right above it, it said "Bye" in nice red text. And that sits in the back of my car in the rear window, so that way anytime I pass somebody by, all you see is the nice little black heart that says "Bye," and which is even better, because I'll blow by listening to like Custer by Slipknot.
Oh boy.
Oh, I listen to Hentai by SR3L.
What is the most unique way you saw somebody customize their car, like in person? What was the most crazy thing you saw?
Oh, it was a wrap of their persona. That's the most I could say.
Yeah. Like the full car itself?
Yeah, you can do that. You can get wraps made for your cars like that. I want to do that, but I'm doing other things first that are like just modifications to the cars themselves. Yeah, wraps are just like the very end point.
Exactly. When you've got a nice finished project all around, you can finally make it look good.
I might do that.
I know for me, probably the craziest thing I've seen so far on any vehicle, it's tied between two things. And I saw them both in the same place. One dude, he didn't do wraps. He was spray painting the cars all by hand. And these like spray paintings were incredible. There was so much detail to them that it looked like you could frame it. It was so good. And the other one, it's basic, but it looks basic, but it was the most expensive thing I've ever seen. Somebody came into this auto show with a Pagani Huayra BC, and the entire body was made with gold interlaced carbon fiber. How do you afford something like that? And why would you ever trust putting that in a public area?
Yeah,
are we talking about furries? I don't think furries can do that.
No,
well, I mean, there are some rich furries,
not.
But
yeah, they are.
I mean, actually, I have yet to. I'm gonna make that happen.
So I have seen one furry on Twitter. I mean, it comes by every once in a while. But there's actually a furry who owns an LFA.
Ooh.
Yeah. If anyone knows what the LFA is. Yeah, it's still one of the top. Yeah, still one of the top few best exhaust sounding cars ever made. Up with the Kura GT.
Public roads, anyway.
Yeah, up with the Kura GT. Both of those cars, F1 designed engines put into a normal street car. Porsche and surprisingly Toyota made probably the best V10s in existence.
It's actually Yamaha that made it.
Well, it's still Japanese.
Yamaha designed the engine and the exhaust to make it sound the way it does.
And the transmission's made by Aizen. Like, of course.
Yep.
Like everything made from every transmission ever put on a Toyota/Lexus. Won't get you there quick, but it will get you there past 300,000 miles.
We can't promise you'll get there on time, but we can promise you'll get there every time.
That's why I wish Honda would like outsource their transmissions, because Honda makes like probably the best manual transmissions ever made for a Japanese car.
I just love Japanese cars in general. They're reliable, they're easy to work on. My number one would probably be like Toyotas, followed by Hondas, and then Nissans. Nissans are pretty like in those top 3 cars, Nissan is the least reliable, but I owned one. I owned a Civic, a Camry, a Corolla, an Altima, and I love working on all 4 of these cars. The car I hated the most working on was Chrysler, and it was what was that other piece of shit car I had to work on?
Yeah.
Sam Ions, they were pretty easy to work on. What's the Greyson? It was a car that I worked on, and it's like it had no room at all. I'm like, how the fuck? Oh, the Volkswagen New Beetle. Changing the light bulb.
Those things are crammed.
You had to take the whole front end apart. It was ridiculous. My father was like, how do I change the headlight bulb? I'm like, I have absolutely no idea. My hand doesn't fit in there, and I have tiny hands.
It's when Germans finally get like the limited budget. That's why it's so overcomplicated, because they cram all those nice features into such a tiny space, and it's like, hey, this saves money, right? Yeah,
look, I'm gonna say this right now. The G35 and 350Z is the same way. Like when it comes to like tight, they make here's what I feel like they did with the 350Z and G35. They designed the chassis. It's like, all right, cool, we have a great chassis. Now what kind of engine should we put into it? And they use every single cubic inch/inches of the engine bay they could make to toss the 3.5 in there and be like, all right, this is perfect. To change a headlight bulb in that car, you have to take off the entire front bumper to take out the headlights to change them. And you can only buy either HIDs or LED bulbs if you have the coupe, because that's what they came with from factory. So it's a very hard job on the G35 and 350Zs, but still, I mean, I love the car.
I gotta say, like, you mentioned something about HID and like LED bulbs. I drive a Transit Connect for work, and it's a 2022. It's brand new. The visibility during night on this vehicle is so bad. The comfort is great. I love this vehicle. Sound system is good. The visibility at night is horrendously bad and dangerous. So I'm not supposed to do this, but I actually like bought a set of like LED lamps to put in it, and it has that ballast so that the CAN bus system doesn't freak out because it sees a different bulb. My God, day and night difference. So if you see that your car is struggling to get decent, like good lighting and like seeing things appropriately, get LED bulbs. They're amazing. I'm gonna buy a set for my Honda Civic because it's pretty bad. If I'm gonna be doing because I'm gonna be driving 2,000 kilometers. I'm gonna be driving for 19 hours from Montreal all the way to Georgia, Atlanta to go to FWA this year. I'm gonna be driving, and I don't want to hear a deer on my way here. I want to see those from a distance.
I definitely agree, because I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat because the first time I tried night driving with my car. as much as I love my BMW, I absolutely adore my BMW. The front headlights are so scarily dim. The high beams look like low beams. They look like fog lights. It's really bad. So I'm looking at buying new headlights soon, and they're like $511 a headlight. They're really expensive.
Yep. That's what happens with the BMW.
Said, that's because it's a BMW, yeah.
But I was gonna say, I have LEDs in both my cars. I mean,
I'm gonna do the swap on my Civic.
I love LEDs, honestly. They're like the best thing in existence. But if you do have LEDs, try to have projector headlights too, because if you have just normal open spaced headlights, I'm not sure what they're called, you spread that shit around like there's no direct like aim on it. It just goes and blinds everyone. To be fair, I'm doing that at the moment myself, but I plan on buying new headlights again.
So the thing is, sometimes the filament, where the filament is inside the headlamp, is measured really precisely. So if you get an LED bulb that don't match that perfectly, you're gonna get that flooding effect. You can actually adjust the headlights so they look down a bit more, which is probably what I'm gonna do on my work vehicle. It's like a screwdriver. You just park up in front of a garage and you can see them, like how to level it. It's not too difficult. You can always look it up on YouTube, but yeah, if you plan on getting LEDs, please don't get those blue ones, because blue light kills your night vision.
It does. I will say this: I had on the Camry and Corolla I had, they were so simple to adjust the headlight settings on them. It was so simple. On the G35 is the biggest pain in the ass in existence. You have to take the headlights out to do it. It's ridiculous, really? Honestly. Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass because you can't get to them once you put the headlights in, because it has this like fiberglass composite front end thing. I can't remember what it's called, but it like you slide the headlight in, and then anything behind the headlight is just like blocked off from adjusting. So you have to like take them out, screw it, and then put it back in and be like, okay, that's good enough. It's ridiculous. Like, I enjoy Nissan, and the VQ is fine as long as you take care of it. And don't trombone the shit out of it, because I hate those so much. I hate the trombones. Everyone buys cheap exhaust for that car. That's why they sound like crap. But yes, let's continue.
There's like 3 or 4 of those guys at my school. It's awful.
Well, we're really close to the midway segment, so we're gonna go with the question of the week. So, is there any stories or experience of furries and their cars that you know about that you would like to share? Anything, something interesting or funny that came up you think that would be interesting? Let us know in the comment down below. Also, I would like to mention a few things. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified next time we post a video on YouTube. You can also follow us on our audio platforms and leave us as a rating as well, as that will help as that will help us out a lot. Can't talk right now. You can also join our Discord and Telegram chat, and links for all of these are in our link tree down below in the comment section. And if you don't subscribe and hit that notification bell and follow us and then click on the link, Whiplash is going to tell you what's going to happen.
If you don't do that, I'm gonna come to your town. I'm gonna get a job as a tow truck driver. I'm gonna come repossess your car. Capiche?
Oh
no. Your Kia Soul is mine.
Kia Soul is mine.
Kia Soul?
Your Kia Soul is mine.
Careful, don't drive
we'll
this.
wreck it. Yeah, don't drive Kia Souls.
Alright. One last thing I'd like to say, calling out to all of our Top Dogs fan. If you guys want some school stuff, some cool stuff. Wow, I can't freaking talk today. It's really bad.
School stuff. We gotta be chilling with fellow kids.
Oh my god.
Top Dog's backpack. Oh my god.
Oh, that would be cool merch, dude. I would carry that stuff around. I mean, we should get stickers of our Top Dogs logo. I think that would be cool. Give them out at FWA. I think that would be sweet. I'll think of something.
That's a good idea. No, that's a good idea. We should do it.
I'll work on something. You know what? I have an idea. But I'll keep that for now. So, alright. So, calling all of our Top Dogs fan. You want some cool stuff? You can by subscribing to our server subscription on Discord. Become a podcast supporter today. Get exclusive raw and uncut footage of your favorite podcast episodes. Join supporter meetups and talk with other podcast supporters and the team. Plus, you also get a custom-made paw emoji and other goodies that come with our $2.99 a month subscription. But wait, there's more. Upgrade to the podcast supporter plus, and you can get episode voting, supporter feedback, and a live audience for only $5.99 a month. Plus, get sneak peeks of upcoming ideas, merchandising, and more. You don't have to join the subscription to be part of the Top Dogs Discord, but it does help us out tremendously. So thank you again. And yeah.
before I tell you.
Yeah.
Give us your money.
Nah, that's up to you. That's up to you guys.
Nah.
Anything's appreciated. But I will,
Yeah,
I
thanks a
will
lot. We
still,
appreciate it.
I will still repossess your Kia Soul. Buy something good.
Yeah, I mean, all the money, all the support you guys are providing us is help us get better tools for production, pay for the cloud storage, maybe get a website, merchandise going. So like everything is helping us. Anything you can do, and just just retweeting, reposting the videos, sharing with your friends. Like this is more than what we can hope for. So thank you guys. So to keep on going, the questions, Whiplash. Are there any notable examples of furries and their cars in today's popular culture?
It's a good way to like. Now, what do you mean by that? Like, how if there are popular furries who have cars, or if there are furries who have done like exponential stuff that even like the modern normal media knows about?
Yeah, exactly. So popular culture is everyone. Not only the furries, but the whole world itself. Like,
well,
any
Bad
like.
Dragon. I'm gonna say Bad Dragon actually sponsors the drift team.
They sponsors. Yeah, they sponsored.
And they won this year.
BMW.
And they
Oh,
won
really?
this year. Yes.
Yeah, they
No
won,
way.
which is
I did not know
incredible.
that. That is so cool.
It's a green and black BMW, and it looks tight.
It's really good. Yeah, and they won, which is
I don't know
great.
if our editors.
It's fun.
I don't know if our editors can put a picture of that BMW with the Bad Dragon logo on it. If they can, good for it. If they cannot, well, too bad.
Yeah, they definitely could, because it's not safe for work in any way, but I don't know about the sponsors. That copyright claims incoming.
I highly doubt they would. I mean, Bad Dragon knows like 80% of their people who buy their products are furries. Like that's just. I mean, they go to furry cons to sell their stuff, which. I mean, come on. You'll be seeing them at FWA. They go there every year.
Oh,
They've been there every time. Oh yeah, don't worry. FWA. Look, FWA is gonna be fun. Trust me.
So we can proceed with the next question. Something I think that would be a fun one. So we all have vehicles, but sometimes we dream about other vehicles that we would like to own. A lot of people, they will own like their everyday car, and they would like to own like their perfect weekend car. What about you? What would be, Whiplash, what would be your perfect weekend car, and what would be your perfect everyday car?
So everyday car, it would probably be a 4-door. Just a 4-door. I honestly would love a wagon. Just a wagon car that's practical, can be quick, can be comfortable. So the only company that makes those is Audi and Mercedes. I don't know if Volvo makes wagons anymore, but something that's is not slow, it's not too fast, it's comfortable, sort of reliable. Because I mean, unless you go for Lexus, you'll have like the most reliable sedan you can buy in general. But that's what I would like for just a daily car. Something that's kind of fun, gives you some sort of excitement, not boring. I can't deal with boring cars. I drove my friend's Ridgeline Saturday to go pick up my wheels at my house and take it to his house. And I was like bored out of my mind driving that thing the entire way. And weekend car, it would just be like, it doesn't matter what it has. It can have no thrills, but it's fast as long as it turns tight, as long as it gives you fun. As long as the radio works, and it's still fun to drive.
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah, and it could be a convertible, like my Corvette. Like my Corvette, I drive it on the weekends. That's specifically when I drive it.
Dude, when you're pulling some sick drifts, you gotta make sure that funk music is playing in the background nice and loud.
Oh, trust me. I play lots of rap and funk music.
Yeah.
I played music that was supposed to come out of Corvette speakers.
Are they blown out, or they're still good?
Oh no, the speakers are good. It's just the people who usually buy Corvettes usually listen to
Five Finger Death Punch.
No, songs like God. How did I forget the song already? It's the song that everyone makes fun of when they think of Vietnam. Fortunate Son. Yeah, Fortunate Son. You not know that song?
It's the Harlem Shake.
Not.
No.
You would know Fortunate Son if you would know Fortunate Son. As soon as
I don't know
the
the
first
name.
5 notes
Yeah,
played,
as soon as you hear the
you would know it.
helicopter blades.
Yeah, that's probably it. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of music, and I don't know music at the same time. It's like somebody will mention me like a song, like, you know this song. I'm like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And then he plays, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what it is, and I actually sing it. So me, it's like this most of the time. Like I listen to music a lot, but I don't know what's the title of the song.
Too fair, that's me sometimes too. I'd be like, I know this song, but I have no idea the name of it.
What about you, Devan? What's your perfect everyday car and your perfect weekend car?
Perfect everyday car is probably something it's fun in its moments, but it's mostly just reliable. It's something that can keep me going from A to B, and it's not something that I'm gonna get made fun of every day for, because I've definitely come across like situations like that where people have made fun of me for the vehicle that I drive. It's like, oh, you drive a BMW, it's unreliable. No, it's not. No, it's not. Sorry, but and reference this everyday car would probably be the BMW that I'm still driving, because it ranked extremely reliable for its year. It's an 07, and it's got 129,000 miles on it, and
not bad.
It's due for a few things, but I can do that myself now, and I'm gonna make sure it's done right. But everybody rags on me because like BMW unreliable, yada yada. No, it's not unreliable. My car literally ranked one of the top 5 most reliable for that year, and the N52 engine that's in it, sure, it might have oil leaking issues, but that's because the engine is slanted to the side. And that's just replace the head gasket and you're fine. Otherwise, that engine will go until you kill it.
You mean valve cover
just replace
gasket?
the head gasket. You just have to disconnect everything, take the head off, take the valve cover. Like, it looks complicated.
It's a valve cover gasket, not the head gasket.
Oh, valve cover gasket. Sorry.
Oh,
head gasket
is... Okay, that's easy.
Head gasket is pretty much making the engine a long block, that's it. Or short block, excuse me. Yeah, your N52 is reliable. It's when we get to the N54.
That's
when
the
no idea what you guys are talking
about. Engine models, I don't know.
The N54 is great for power, but oh my god, that's where the unreliability comes in. Because it's a twin turbo i6.
So here's what the N54 has. It was BMW's first step into turbocharged inline sixes, and it has water pump failures. It has oil pump failures. The valve, anything that is a gasket on that car will fail besides the head gasket. I think, is that the same engine that whenever oil starts leaking out of the oil filter thing, it leaks onto the accessory belt, and the accessory belt can get sucked up into the engine.
And
pretty much destroy
it's the same engine.
Okay, and the turbos are guaranteed to fail at 100,000 miles because they're Mitsubishi motors, or Mitsubishi motor turbos, and we know what they make. Those turbos will fail. There's just a lot of things in a car that will fail. Now, if you replace all those things, the engine is good. It's actually reliable as long as you replace it, because the water pump is plastic. It's a plastic propeller, which is stupid. Like, that should always be metal.
Yeah.
Why? It's a BMW. Why would they cheap out?
But
I mean,
it's like BMW. Why do they cheap out? Companies have to cheap out. In some areas, companies have to cheap out. Because think about it, like the M division cars. In the N division cars, they don't cheap out there because they're the most ragged sports cars that you can get from BMW. But when you start getting into the series models, it's more oriented towards luxury rather than just dedicated sport and fast and, yada yada. It's going to have some cheaped out features. But
is it why most people are like... Because I've been told, when you get a BMW, as soon as that 5-year warranty, is done, you better return that car because it's going to start breaking apart.
My thing with most BMWs is just, I would just lease one. Never buy a new one unless you get an M car.
6 or 7 years. That's what everybody was telling me. I don't know if it's my area, but...
It's mainly the electronics. German electronics are really never, the most... Because they keep... engineering stuff to be more luxury. There's some things BMW has the gesture control on their radios, which is kind of a gimmick, honestly. That's you turn up the volume using this. It's like the Wii remote for cars. It's kind of stupid, but
I kind of like it.
I would say the only thing to buy new in BMW would be the M series. By the way,
never
buy a V8. never buy a V8 BMW. They've never fixed them over the years. The exhaust valve guides are always guaranteed to burn up and start never completely like set like seating, and you're gonna lose pressure or God, what is it called? It's not pressure, it's something else. It's that pretty much, and you're gonna have to get the heads rebuilt pretty much, and it's expensive. Even with the old ones, they've never fixed them. But
yeah, I can definitely agree that BMW's V8s are pretty lacking, especially the newer ones. Like the V8s and the M5, it's like, but don't get me wrong, I heavily appreciate the M5 CSL, fastest and most powerful BMW they've ever released so far. But still, Jesus, fix your motors. The only time that I will give them credit for a V8, and ironically this is also my weekend car, would be in like the E90 and E92 M3. That V8 came from their racing GT3s. That motor was from the Z4 GT3 model, and they basically just said, okay, we need to make a new M3 model. What can we do to make this thing, halfway decent? And the M division said, you know what, fine, we'll step it up a notch. Took the same motor, slapped it in the M3, reduced the rev limit a little bit, and reduced the power just a little bit so that way it was safe to drive on the streets.
I will say this though,
it's not 9,000, it's 8,600 RPM.
I will say this before we move on to the next question. So they did the same thing with the M5. They put a V10 into it, which revved to I think the same RPMs. So I love those two engines. I really do. But the V8 has it too. It's just not as common as the V10. They both have rod bearing issues. It is like how you would think on a normal car, like let's say this, like on a transmission, you get the oil changed out every 50,000 miles, right? Well, on BMWs, on the M5, I can't remember what the main code is for those BMWs, but M5, the rod bearings are a normal wear item from factory because they didn't put the correct ones into them. So you have to change them out, and it's expensive because you don't have to take the engine out. You can just take the oil pan off and the upper oil pan off, get the rod bearings, put some new ones in there that are better, and then you're good to go. But it's the fact that you still have to do it to make that engine reliable. And if you have the SMG transmission, you might as well replace clutches every 20,000 miles and the Vandals pump because they're going to go out regardless. It's the worst SMG transmission to ever exist. Now, how you're talking about how companies like cheaping out on some things, I feel like BMW did it to make their interiors better. So they cheaped out on some engine parts to make it better. Because if we go to Toyota, their interiors aren't exciting. But if you tear down their 4-cylinders or V6s, they're like overbuilt to take you past the limit. Like their V6s, which they're not, the only cars that have it now is the Camry, and they go into a 2.5 turbo. I can't remember what it is, but where the crankshaft lives at, there are 4 main bolts that actually connect to the block, and then on the outside of the block there are 2 bolts that hold like everything together. Like it's so like overbuilt, you could push a lot of power through those V6s, but they don't because it's just there for reliability.
But I think we're gonna. So I wanted to answer. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stop you because I feel like you're taking off like a real rocket.
We'll go on about this for hours.
Yeah, I gotta say though, BMW, they're really pioneers on bringing new technology to the game in the car market. They've been always like pretty good for that. But for me, for my perfect like everyday car, my husband and I, we've been looking around. We need to get a better vehicle because we have a dog. We have the project of having our child, which sadly still hasn't worked yet. Our second embryo transfer failed. But we still need to get a vehicle. We're thinking about either getting like a Chevrolet Volt, which I know is discontinued, but we're only looking for something in the used market, and we like the electric part, and also we can do road trips with it. But the Toyota Prius Prime is something that really interests us, or any vehicle in the Prime family, because they're just reliable. But for my perfect weekend car, a supercharged Mini Cooper manual transmission. They feel like go-karts. They're so fun to drive. I've driven one and I loved it. Or a Miata. I would love to get a Miata manual.
Miata is fun. I've driven my friend's 2017 Indy Miata. It's so much fun. The clutch feels like nothing. Like, if you wanted to drive like manual and get used to it, driving the new Miatas, oh my god, it's so simple. It is so easy. It is ridiculously easy. Now, minis. First or third gen minis. Never buy second gen. First, third gens. No second gens. Those engines are trash.
Because I don't know what year is that. What are those years?
So 2007 hardtop minis to like 2014, 15. I can't remember. And 2009 convertibles to that same years. Those engines were produced by Peugeot or Renault, 102. It's one of the French car companies. They can never make anything reliable. But
no,
it's the fact that those engines are garbage. They have the main concern of those engines is something called a death rattle. Pretty much that means the guides on the timing chains explode, and you get that sound as the timing chains going around, spinning the camshafts and crankshaft. It is common.
They use timing chains.
Same thing with the water pump failure. That's a common thing. Something I think the turbocharger fails too. I can't remember. There's a lot of plastic like housings on these engines, and that's why they all fail easily. It's ridiculous.
So you're saying anything before 2007 and after 2014?
Pretty much.
Or 2009. Okay. Good to know. I'll try to remember that.
Yeah, just look for a third gen. Third gens have a BMW motor, which is much more reliable. And the previous generation, the first generation, it's funny to say this, those engines are reliable because my friend has one. But it was an engine produced like the Cooper S models. The engines were collaborated by Chrysler and Land Rover. And somehow they can't make shit reliable, but they come together and make a reliable four-cylinder that's supercharged.
That's surprising.
It takes three active,
I'm not a fan
singular
of
brain cell companies to make one reliable motor.
Yeah, it's iron block and aluminum heads.
Yeah, well, sometimes they're more head at the table, and it feels like they're making a more stupid decision than if they were a single person. Sometimes I've seen this.
Yes, but to be fair, Chrysler pushed a lot of people have Chrysler products, so I won't go into that little. I won't go into that little rant.
Not to mention Chryslers are just hell to work on.
But GM makes the best push rods.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the next question. Since we're talking about cars and reliability, Whiplash, what tip do you have for furries who are currently in the market for a car? Either you recommend used, brand or brand new, a brand or anything.
Toyota.
What's your take?
Toyota and Honda.
Lexus.
Sure. I agree.
I agree. Toyota, Lexus if you have more money. But any car they make, like it doesn't matter what you can go for. It's just whenever Toyota makes a car, they put all their engineering into like the drivetrain itself, like everything from front to rear. If it's rear drive, they put all their money into it. It's something you can trust. It's something you can trust. Do normal maintenance on it. That's the main concern too, is do normal maintenance on your cars. If you don't, you run the risk of your engine like running low on oil because you're not doing it, or especially if it's a new car, you run the risk of the oil just thickening up and it's less lubrication throughout the engine, and you run the risk of it just exploding because it's not getting enough lubrication. Now, older cars, if they're eating oil, you get low too much. Main bearings, rod bearings, everything. Rod comes straight out the knock or comes straight out the block, and then you have to pay more money just for a new engine instead of just the oil change, which is like $80 to $100. Normal maintenance. That's the main thing. If you don't want to spend money, just do an oil change. Do the basic maintenance. Keep that engine alive. Keep it rolling. Otherwise, $5,000. Easy. That's easy for a normal engine out, engine in job.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example on what I mean, what you mean by that. So, our family, we have a 04 Grand Cherokee Jeep Special Edition, and my dad tried towing it through the mountains, and now it sounds like a supercharger whine anywhere we drive it. And we figured out that it's because preventative maintenance was not upkept, and because it was more than the car's towing capacity. So those two factors combined killed the transmission pump, and now it's like I think around $6,000 repair, because you have to get a transmission rebuild. You can't do the pump itself. You have to do the whole rebuild, and that's wicked expensive. Are these people going to do that? Mm-hmm. Not at all, and it's their own fault.
And the thing is, guys, like one more thing.
Okay. I want to say something too.
I know what I'm saying. My friend has horror stories about cars that come in. He's a master mechanic of a shop he's at. He sees so much crap come through, and we drive beside these people every day. Just don't be one of those people, please. But go ahead, Stream.
Yeah, no, we don't want to drive you. We don't want to drive past you and hear a snare drum in your engine bay. Please upkeep your car.
That's not that. I just want to die if you wreck or something explodes next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go Stream.
But guys, if you guys are confused about this whole maintenance thing and like, how does it work? I don't understand. What do I need to do? Every car is supposed to come with a manual, and at the end of the section, there's supposed to be a section where it says maintenance, and it will tell you every like mileage checkpoints what you need to get verified and get done. If you're not sure you're buying, and I also recommend getting something used. I always bought my cars 10 years old. I've always done that. They end up costing me anywhere from like $2,000 to $8,000. That's Canadian, so it's even less than American money. But I don't recommend buying you brand new, because it will get dents. It will lose a lot of value as soon as you take it out of the dealership. So get something used. That way you know you're not getting a lemon. Get the also, when you're buying a car used, pay that $75 for an inspection. Get that car inspected before you commit any sort of money, because you don't know what you can stumble up onto. You don't know how legit the dealer is, or the person that is selling to you. I've always went to the dealership that sells used cars. That way they have some sort of warranty. I did that with my Corolla when I bought it 10 years ago, and it ended up having faulty drum brakes, so the guy actually replaced them for free. Yes, he did use the cheapest parts possible, but at least they were done.
I will say this. So I've seen some there's like mechanical nightmare compilations on YouTube you can watch. There was one video I saw where this lady actually took a Jeep. It was in the northern states. She took a Jeep to get looked at before they bought it. Or was it she bought it and then they found out? Well, this dealership had pretty much put the car up in the air and spray painted the entire underbody that had rust on it. So it looked like nothing happened, but it was like almost totaled out because there was so much rust. That's for something up you in northern states. You guys definitely need to do that, because we know how road salt can do. That's the reason why I want to move to Colorado. There's no road salt. They use some kind of wood chips for the road, so it doesn't really affect your underbody. But other states, do that. It's important. You don't want to drive your car down the road and it's going to break in half on you because the frame is almost gone. Do it. Yeah. Be safe. Pay that extra money.
Yeah, and furries, we tend to do a lot of road trips. We go to these cons, these meetups, we go see friends, because we know most of our social interaction are done through our online. We go to this meetups and events, so it's good to get a good, reliable car. Please don't cheap out. Yes, that car is brand new. Yes, it's cheap, like the Kia Soul, for example, or Hyundai Accent or Elantra, but it's just... No. It's going to be more pain in the end than if you save a little bit more and get something that is reliable. I mean, JDM cars are really good. The Mitsubishi cars are good. No. I don't have it anymore, but the...
No, they're not.
No, not Mitsubishi.
Really? Okay.
So here's the thing:
ones that I know of, the Lancers are really good.
Mitsubishi's like the Volkswagen of Japan.
Really?
So my thing is is Subarus. Everyone up north was like, "Oh, all-wheel drive Subaru." No, just no, please no. Just
then
no.
You furry it up. You put stickers on it, and it becomes a Subaru.
And Nissan, unfortunately, Nissan with their Altimas and anything that has a CVT is like garbage. Engine-wise, they're all fine. CVT's the biggest piece of crap ever in existence. Any CVT Nissan is garbage. Garbage.
Yeah. I don't like the feeling of them. I mean, you know what's even worse? The worst car I've ever driven? Dodge Caliber.
Oh God! Oh, I hate looking at those. They look disgusting. Dude, that's what torture my eyes.
The company I worked for, when I started, we were driving because I'm a security system technician. We had Dodge Caravans and for the installation, and we had Dodge Calibers for service. That's the vehicle they gave us at the beginning. It's not like that anymore, but man, it was so bad. One of my colleague actually almost died asphyxiated in his car because the frame was so rusted and there was an exhaust leak and it was going inside the cabin. He almost passed out. He was like, I'm not going ever in this car again. F that.
Look, your Dodge Calibers are just, oh God. They're just so nasty. I just can't. But
or the Pontiac
if you do, oh God, those two. If you do buy a new car, when it comes to oil maintenance, they use synthetic oil. You can go between 10,000 miles on oil changes. Just make sure you keep up with that. Older cars, my cars are 04 and 03, and I think the oil intervals are 5,000. I normally do before that because I want to make sure. But still use synthetic oil. Synthetic oil is still the best thing to use. It's expensive, yes, but it is the best thing to use for any of your cars, unless you need a thick oil to actually lubricate the insides. But those are like 90s and below cars that do those.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I run a 2007. Mixes. Yeah. I run a 2007 car. In theory, I'm supposed to put mineral oil, but I've always ran synthetic. Yes, it's twice as expensive, but it lasts 3 times longer. And I have actually a sensor in my car, and I can tell the sensor knows what it's doing because it tells me like, okay, the oil is getting darker and darker, and I've noticed my synthetic oil, it lasts a lot longer. So it might be a bigger cash down on the moment, but if you're planning on doing a lot of road trips for this summer, give it, put synthetic oil. It's good. You're not going to damage your car. Use a synthetic filter as well, of course, because it's going to be useless. But it lasts lasts 3 times less long for twice the price. And I always go for the discounted oil too. When I see like Mobile on sale or Castrol Edge like on sale, I always get those. I never buy like full price, so it's worth it.
If you're doing it yourself, and yes, but also if you do go get oil changes done at a shop, never take it to Quick 5 or any of these like, oh, you're in and out in 10-15 minutes. No. Sometimes they don't even put oil in your car, and then guess what? Your engine goes kapooey. And now they're still at fault, but now you gotta wait for an engine to come through. Just don't do it. Ever. Don't do that. Just go to, like, I wouldn't say dealership because they really overcharge you, but take it to someone who's, like, actually a reputable place to get oil changes at. Like, there are plenty of places like that.
Who's a friend and he's a mechanic, take it there. They'll do it for you for free, probably.
Oh, another quick tip for people. If you're going to a dealership or a garage and they're saying, oh, there's this part that broke on the car, we need to replace them, ask them if you could see the part. Because there's some garage that will rip you off. They'll say, oh, we need to change this part, it's $500. Like my mother recently, she was told at the Volkswagen dealership that her front passenger coil was cracked and damaged. I'm like, I driven your car and it was not broken. It was perfectly fine. So I don't know. I mean, it could be true, but I'm like, before you go ahead and tell them yes, ask them to show you the crack. Require visual proof because some garage out there are not super honest. Be careful with that.
No,
you're allowed to go inside the garage and go see it.
Yeah, don't do dealerships. Don't do dealerships. Like, they really will just try to.
I always went to the garage all the time. I always went to the garage. I want to see what's going on, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, fine."
So my friend works at a. So what we have here
in the garage.
So last thing, because we're close to the end.
Fine. Yeah. What, you want me to keep talking?
No, yeah, keep going. I just want to let you know that we're approaching the end.
I know we are. My friend works at the Tire Kingdom. I'm not sure if anyone else has one of those, but he's the master mechanic there. He has his, I came at the ASC, he has his certified everything and pretty much everything. I usually will take it to him just so one, he gets paid the money, extra money, because I don't really have time to do my own anymore, which I wish I did, but I will take anything and everything to him so he can make good money off it because he does. And I trust him because like he's one of those people that wouldn't lie about what needs to be done. He'll just look at the car and be like, okay, so that's good, that's good. If he sees something wrong, he will point it out and just tell them. But that's about it. Like, honest mechanics are out there. You just have to find them.
Yeah. Ask your friends around who they recommend.
Far between, but they do exist. We exist.
Yeah, I really like to doing my own car repairs myself. I watch Chris Fix on YouTube. He gives great pointers and tutorials, and the guy's really nice. He's good. Chris Fix on YouTube, really like him. He does that every year. He does like a April Fool's joke. He's like, "Oh, by the way, make sure you change your blinker fluid this year." It's not even a thing.
Okay, that's the blinker fluid.
The blinker fluid, yeah.
You know how often I get ragged about that for being a BMW driver as well. Oh, why don't you top up your blinker fluid? You don't know how bad I want to reach over the table and slap you.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else you wanted to say before we conclude this episode?
Sell your Kia Soul and get something better. Treat yourself.
Hybrid. Check Corolla Hybrid if you want something level. Or hell, get a RAV4. Get the new Prius.
RAV4 Prime.
New Prius coming out.
Yeah.
The
new Prius coming out looks good.
I'm not gonna get a brand new car. I'm gonna follow my own advice. I'm gonna buy something used. Ideally, I would like
but just remember, new cars can only take synthetic because they run on very thin oil. My Corolla had 0W16. It's pretty much like water almost.
Yeah. True. My sister's car is 0W20. I'm like, God, that is so runny.
It is runny.
I'm running 5W20 at the moment in my Beamer.
Yeah. I actually does 10W30. It's thick boy.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna conclude this episode for tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We wish you all a fantastic day and take care of yourself. And remember, if you need help with your vehicle, if you know a friend that can help you out, go get some advice from them. I'm sure they can do something for you.
If you're nearby, I'll fix it up for you.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Take care.
Have a good one, guys. Night.
Take care.
Bark.